Hello and welcome to Know Your Faith series. I am Collins and today we'll be reflecting on the story of creation, that is Genesis chapter 1. So we already know the story of creation. I'm very sure we're all familiar with it, how God created everything that we know in 6 days and rested on the seventh day. So on the first day, God created light. On the second day, God created the atmosphere and the firmament. On the third day, God created the dry grounds and plants. On the fourth day, he created the heavenly bodies, the sun, the moon, and the stars. On the fifth day, he created the bird and sea animals. And on the sixth day, he created land animals and man. And on the seventh day, like we know, the Sabbath day, God rested. So the seventh commandment enjoins the respect for the integrity of creation, and we see in Catechism of the Catholic Church in paragraph 2415, and it says, man's dominion over inanimate and other living things granted by the Creator is not absolute. It is dignified by the concern for the quality of life of his neighbor, including generations to come. Now what this means is that even though we're given authority over everything, it's not absolute authority. It means that we are responsible of our environment. So even the littlest of things you do, you have to remember that as a creation of God. God created us, yes, to enjoy the things of earth, but we have to be responsible to know that we have to try to consider our neighbors' feelings, or even the generations to come. Try to create a better environment for the next generation to come. The book of Genesis provides us with certain foundations of Christian anthropology, and I'll just give you about 5 of them. So the first is human dignity, the inalienable dignity of the human person. Now, this we look at how God created man, and we see that God created man distinct. So we see that each human has a particular dignity, and we are not to disrespect anybody, because like God said, he created man in his own image and likeness. Number 2 is that we are social beings. We see the constitutive social nature of human beings from Adam and Eve. I mean, Adam was alone. Yes, he had animals at first, but then God had to create Eve. And that already shows that our primary nature is that we are social beings. Third is stewardship. The meaning of human activity in the world is essentially linked to the discovery and respect of the laws of nature that God has inscribed. So our whole point of living is basically for God and to return glory. And the fourth is that creation has a divine origin. The vision of the human person, of society, and of history, everything is rooted in God. God created everything there is and everything that will come. So we must remember that in the book of Genesis, it was not... the book of Genesis was not written as some sort of, scientific record as to how the world was created. It's not some Big Bang theory. No. It was written, the first 3 chapters are addressing the creation, the fall of man, promise of salvation, and they do not pretend to be some physics or biology or chemistry textbook trying to explain how trees grow or things like that. No. It basically tells us the theology, which focuses on the who, which is God, the why we were created, that God loves us, and the what of creation. So these are questions that we should constantly, ask ourselves and reflect on it. Why did God make me? I think this is one of the first questions they ask you in Holy Communion classes, and they ask questions like, why did God make you? And it's important that we reflect on these questions and constantly ask ourselves, so that we know that whenever we fall, we have to go back in union with Christ. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share this content. Till I come your way next time, be bold and be Catholic.